Hello everyone and welcome to Widow's Wednesday. And today is a beautiful day. Oh, I'm so thrilled to see the sun. I can't even begin to tell you. You know, I live in New England and I feel like it's cold, 10 months out of the year. Anytime there's a little hint of sun, we're like, woohoo! And what's funny is, speaking of that, I was sitting at my my little station over there in my kitchen and glancing outside, and it was a foggy day, this one particular day that I was just kind of, where in the world, what has happened to me? When you're a widow, you feel very, especially in the beginning, completely lost. And as I was glancing out the window, I saw all this fog, and then I saw the sun, beating through it and clearing, drying up the fog and making a way that you could see again. And the sun was peeking through the trees. I mean, it was beautiful. But it reminded me of kind of like what I went through in the beginning in a fog, and it's not even like a fog that you really can see through. It's, that one there, you put your hand up, you can't even see your own hand. I felt like for me, I had to be kind of like led around by everybody because things that were familiar to me were now unfamiliar. Territory that I know all well, married for 32 years. I know all about it. Now I know nothing. I don't know where I am. I can't make sense. Talk about a crushing feeling. And I can remember thinking back and saying, God, I'm counting on you, because people can help you as much as they can help you. Our Facebook groups that we're in, it's good to hear from the other girls who are going through it. But truly, the only one for me that I felt could really make the biggest impact and the biggest difference would be God. Because I'm like, Lord, I'm sorry, but this event of my husband dying did not rock you off the throne. He knows. And he knew. And I need to say, okay, God, you knew this, so obviously you're going to help me. You're going to send people to my aid to get me through it, to give me that hope, that future. When you're going through that at the time, you feel this is never going to happen. It's never going to happen. I'm going to live in this fog forever. That's how you feel. But it's interesting, I've heard this old saying, and I don't know if you guys have heard it. You become who you hang around. And I wanted to hang around people who could pull me out, rescue me. And the place I knew for that was church. God, you answer, you speak there, and I need you more than ever. So if you have something to say to me, I'll hear it from those who hear you better than I do at the moment. And I just want to share one of those with you. Okay, so I want to make sure I get the right one. Yes. Now my husband died. I've crossed the 4-year mark now, so he died May 6, 2013. And this was about maybe 12 days later. My friend Deb at church, she was praying and she felt the Lord put something on her heart to tell me. And this is what she said. Susie, God sees that your heart is shredded, but He wants you to know that it's okay to mourn. He's going to give you a new ministry to give hope to those who have none. He will give you a new joy, a new hope, and a new future. And you know, in that foggy place, my mind and my heart, yeah, it was shredded. I'm fogged out. I don't know what the heck is going on. But my words to her was, what was wrong with the old one? I'm being flat honest. What was wrong with the old one? And I have to settle that between me and my Jesus. I've asked and I've asked and I've asked, and I can tell you girls, 4 years later, see it. I see it. I couldn't see it then because I was consumed by this fog. But I can step back and I can say, okay, God, yeah, you are doing something in me. You know, you are bringing something new out of me. You know, you do bring the dead back to life. And as you girls know, or guys, you know, we feel dead. You know, when my husband died, I feel like I died too. And yeah, I was the walking dead. I don't know how I'm going to get out of this. I don't know how God's going to rescue me out of this. But even though I didn't understand completely what Deb was saying there, God says He's putting a little bit of hope in me. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I'm thinking back to, Debbie said this, okay? So Lord, that gives me hope that you are looking down the road for me. You are looking down and saying, Susie, hang on. Because it's not over. It's not over. And it's really not easy. It's not easy. But Proverbs, my beautiful, beautiful God's Word. Proverbs 18:14. A man's spirit can sustain him during his illness. Okay, this we know. But who can bear a crushed spirit? And it was unbearable. And God, you know, He knows who to bring in at the right moment to make that little difference in your life. It doesn't even have to always be some grand thing, you know. Somebody just coming up to you sometimes and just putting their arm around you and saying, I feel it for you today, honey, can just make all the difference in the world. Psalm 34:18 states that the Lord, girls, is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. I thought, nobody can rescue me. I don't see how this could possibly happen. And yet God says, I am the rescuer. I know what you need and how to get it to you. You know? And I just have to do that thing that everybody has struggled with at some point in their life, is to take a step of faith. Like, God, I don't get it completely. But I am going to do that. I'm going to take that step of faith. Because you're telling me that you have good things. Did you guys know that, you know, sustain and restore, these are really good words, because sustain, right, means to support something or to keep it going. That was one of the scriptures that the Lord gave my husband, Psalm 41:3. And sustain, to keep it going. I do believe God kept him going. You know, He granted him an extra 8 months when he could have died instantly. Restore. To restore something means, ready? To bring it back to oneself, which is what the Lord did with his son he created. God made Daryl Burrows. He made me. He made you. He knows when you would be born. He knows when you will die. That is God's word. There's a time to be born, which we love. There's a time to die, which we don't like so much. You know? We expect everyone to live a long life. And as we know, especially younger widows, this doesn't happen all the time. And God is not the thief. That's the enemy of our soul. I'm like, Lord, you allowed it, then there has to be a greater purpose. You know, I was at church, and I was saying, Lord, I go up to that altar, and I'm like, Father, whatever you want to say to me, say it through these women to me. This one, ready? This was actually in 2015. This was spoken over me. And this woman said to me, she said, okay, Susie, and she was praying and praying and praying. She said, Susie, this word just keeps coming to my mind, and it is rebirth. Something was about to be born in my life, and that God had showers of blessings for me. Seriously? Well, okay. That isn't just for me. It's not the Susie Barr show. You know, I try to be as humble as I can with this, because when I am showing you things that God's doing in my life, it's because I am going after God with every fiber of my being. I know how hard it is. You guys, if you've watched some of my videos, I tell you, man alive, slap me 5, man, what the heck? I've gone through so much, you know, but no matter what, I'm doing that faith thing. I'm saying, God, I am still reaching for you. I'm still reaching for you. And when your servant says something like this to me, that you're rebirthing something in me, I feel it. I know something's in me that's about to happen. And then my best friend Michelle, she had a dream that we were both pregnant at the same time. I was like, hello, that's 54. What? In other words, we're about to give birth to something new in our life. She didn't know about that. I knew about that. So when my friend told me about the dream, I'm like, oh my gosh, it just resonated. You know, another little connection. I'm like, all right, my Jesus, I have no clue what you're completely up to, but I can tell you this, girls, within hope, there is future. There is future. God offers hope. Drink it till you're sick. There's no hope there. You know, going out and doing ridiculous things with your life and being careless or doing this and doing that and I don't care. There's no hope there. But God says, I am hope. Just take that little step towards me. Jesus, I don't know what this crazy girl is telling me all the time. But God, if she says you're real, come into my heart, Lord. Make a difference in me. Give me that hope that I'm lacking. You know, give me that future. I see future now. Girls, I see future now. And I'm praying for my husband, number 2. And I'm praying for my family. Here comes another grandbaby. Life is still happening, girls. Don't give up. Don't give up. Like and subscribe and share with a friend. And I will see you next week.